Hey, I'm Dean and this is Legacy Voyage. In Season 1, I'm documenting my journey to earning my first 100K net worth as a full-time college student. Join me as I share some of the lessons I learned along the way. I remember a while back, this was in school, and we just finished up a midterm. And it wasn't even a midterm, it was the big final, which was like 50% of the grade or something crazy. And this was the big final that we were studying 5 days in a row. We were at the library just grinding and grinding. It was me and another friend. We are just really trying to grind. It was an economics class. We're trying to grind it over and over, run through the problem sets, study it back and forth, go through the practice exams, just do everything we could possibly do so we don't fail this day exam. And finally, once exam day comes, I feel prepared. I'm feeling good. We walk in the door, sit down, take out my pencil, and I start going to town. Do all the problems, do all the work. I'm doing it, I'm doing it. And then by the time it's over, I walked out the doors. I'm like, man, I feel terrible about it. I can completely tell that I was way more confident before the exam than after the exam. Well, we'll put it like that. Because there were so many questions on the exam that I just did not know. I didn't fully understand. I just put down an answer, but I wasn't completely sure about it. And then after the exam, I met up with my friend, and then we both headed to the dining hall. We're grubbing, we're eating some food. And I remember it vividly. As soon as we both walked out the doors, we looked at each other and started shaking our heads. We're like, oh my goodness, that was not good. That was a tough exam. So as we're eating, we're eating some food, and he's just like beating himself up over it. And I wish I did this. I wish I did that. Man, I should have had that problem. That was a dumb mistake. So what'd you get on this from? What'd you get on that from? What'd you all these questions? And I was like, bro, it doesn't matter. The exam is done for. Nothing we do, no amount of worrying is gonna change the results of the exam. It's out of our hand. And that was one of the most vivid memories I have of when I actually put this thing called Stoicism to practice. Stoicism is basically it's a pretty cool sounding word, but it's a philosophy that they found way back in the days. I'm talking like Aristotle times. And there's a lot to it, but the main thing that I want to touch on in this episode is how Stoicism teaches us to look at life in two ways. There are those things that we can control, that are within our control, and then there are other things that are out of our control. And Stoicism teaches us to just focus on the things that are within our control. So instead of me stressing out over the exam after I already took it and then stressing out over the score and what my grade would be, and instead of doing all of that, because the results of the exam, those are out of my control now. What's done is already done. The only thing I can control now is how I move on from the exam. So now I can either drag my feet and be all sad, or I can take that as a learning experience and be like, oh, that form of study did not work for that exam. I do not want to go through that again. How can I improve in the future? Something like that. Where instead of me beating myself up over something that I can't change, I should rather just focus on the things that I can change, which is right here, right now. How am I going to come back from that? So that was a lesson I learned a while back. Just wanted to reiterate that. I think I saw an episode, or not an episode, but a TED Talk about this, about Stoicism. And then this is one of the reasons why I think philosophy is it's helpful and also interesting and also can be applied even today. Now for the life update. I mean, honestly, I didn't accomplish much today. I came home after a long day. We went to the office at around like 7:30ish, 8ish. We came back at around 7. And someone asked me, they're like, hey Dean, did you accomplish a lot today? I was like, yeah, yeah. Now I'm trying to think through what I actually accomplished today. And it wasn't much. I mean, a lot of the day was just me not really doing any focused work because I didn't really know what my next step was. I just kept hopping around from task to task, responding to random messages. And then I remember I was paying for something with my credit card. So I decided to check my credit card account. And I was like, oh, wow, I should upgrade the limit. So I had a whole side quest doing that. Then I upgraded the limit. And then I checked my credit score. I was like, oh, I really should improve this. And one of the ways to improve it is to get a new credit card. And then I went on a whole nother side quest, getting a new credit card. And I was constantly doing all these little side quests. Now, at the very end of the day, I got to ask myself, what did I accomplish today? And it wasn't much. And I think the main reason I didn't accomplish much is because I didn't have a set task or I didn't have a set plan for what I wanted to do. And after talking with my dad about, I think I know the very next steps that I do. So tomorrow I'm gonna go out and try to accomplish those things. So one thing we're thinking about doing is like a placement agency, but all I have to worry about is really just generating the leads, trying to get him customers and phone calls, and then he'll do all the work after that. So tomorrow, the mission is to get up the Google Ads account, post the ads, start running those, and then explore more of the software. The software I'm using is Go High Level, which is an amazing software for marketing, and especially marketing agencies. So that's the plan for tomorrow. And I've noticed that I've been chasing around a lot of opportunities because Alex always says it a lot. I think he got it from Warren Buffett too. I think he was saying like the most successful people know what to say no to, and they only focus on one specific thing. And I think that's something that I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with that because they generate all these ideas, and they never just say no to all the other ideas, say yes to one, and then just go with that one thing. I think that's something I definitely got to work on and learn more about. It's just focusing on one thing, saying no to everything else, even though they're great opportunities, and just focusing on this one thing. But yeah, that is the episode for today, and I shall see you in the next one.